Hello, NBA fans. Every day we have news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a Lakers fan and I ask for your help by subscribing to the channel and giving me your thumbs up. The Lakers' new owner is making changes to the front office, and will general manager Rob Pelinka remain with the team or be fired in 2026? Doubt around Pelinka's long-term fit in Los Angeles intensifies. Doubts about Pelinka's future aren't just coming from outside, but from within NBA circles. One anonymous former NBA executive recently delivered a blunt assessment of Pelinka's future after the Buss brothers were fired. The Lakers won't win a title in the Luka era if they keep Rob. According to him, Walter needs to hire someone with a smarter basketball mind than Rob to run the basketball operations, especially with their championship timeline now set around Luka Doncic. The executive didn't stop there. He challenged the long-standing credit given to the Buss brothers for identifying breakout star Austin Reeves, calling the story a myth. Everyone always gives them credit for finding Austin, but Austin chose to work out for the Lakers and chose not to get drafted by the Pistons so he could land with the Lakers. That wasn't some grand find by the Buss brothers. That was all Austin and his camp, he said. With a few simple words, he completely reframed the conversation around one of LA's most celebrated developments as simple luck, not a scouting masterclass. Lakers insider gives verdict on Rob Pelinka's future following Andrew Friedman announcement. No one could have called the Los Angeles Lakers firing of longtime scouting department members and minority owners Jesse and Joey Buss a few days ago, and now, more changes are being made. New owner Mark Walter, also the owner of the LA Dodgers, was recently joined by Andrew Friedman and Farhan Zaidi, affiliated with the Dodgers, in an advisory role. With their involvement, questions about Lakers GM Rob Pelinka have surfaced, and one insider gave his take on Pelinka's future. Speaking to Trevor Lane of Lakers Nation, insider Anthony Witrato shared that this arrangement has been an ongoing discussion since Mark Walter took charge. This arrangement isn't a power grab, but rather a slow drip becoming a steady stream, which is why the move might have surprised some people. Witrato pointed to the margins, something the Lakers have struggled with in the past. You look at a contract like Jake LaRavia, nobody thought of him as like this big superstar guy. He's certainly not going to get a max deal or anything like that. But what kind of value can you extract from him based on what he gives you on the court, and also, what you have to pay him? Witrato said. Witrato compares the Lakers to the Dodgers and what defines them: edges of improvement, building depth, and exploiting inefficiencies. If that's the new standard, then Pelinka's approach is now being measured against something sharper and proven. Just a few days ago, the Lakers let go of most of their scouting department as a part of a major reshuffling, and Witrato pointed to the significance of the event. He believes that the changes were a necessity, and they give a chance for Farhan and Friedman to provide their inputs. During the same episode, Trevor Lane shared, Mark Walters, someone who very much empowers his decision makers, the people that he believes are going to make the correct decisions on the front office level. And it's not all just spreadsheet driven. It's not all analytics, but it's a blending of those two things, which is very, very important. A new model and culture is now set to become the Lakers' foundation, and somewhere in that shift lies Pelinka. Not removed or replaced, but reshaped by forces that now surround him. Lakers to employ multiple Dodgers executives as consultants. New majority Lakers owner Mark Walter, who also owns the two-time defending MLB champion Los Angeles Dodgers, brought over 2 front office people from that organization to advise the Lakers shortly after the Buss brothers got the axe. It is merely speculation at this point to say whether Walter wanted the Buss brothers out, or whether Jeannie Buss wanted her younger siblings fired and Walter agreed. However, Windhorst offered educated speculation that it was the latter. What this indicates to me, and this is my feel, no one has said this to me, this is not a report, this is just my feel, this is me looking at the situation, this is done with venom, Windhorst said. This is blood is thicker than water here. Because you would not fire your scouting staff at this point. Even if you hated your director of scouting, you would not fire them in November, and certainly, not their whole staff. You would say, okay, I'll fire you one day after the draft. Lakers trade rumor puts hot start in perspective as drastic changes begin. The Los Angeles Lakers need to know what this team looks like with LeBron James. Is it time for the Los Angeles Lakers to push their chips all in? J.J. Redick got his team off to an 11-4 start with one of their star players only accounting for a 1-0 record. The problem for Rob Pelinka has to do with that last part. The Lakers do not truly have a proper idea of what this team will look like with LeBron James back in the mix. That is not to imply James makes the team worse to any capacity, but there will be an obvious adjustment period to reintegrating their star and figuring out what that means on the whole. There is just no clear consensus of what the Lakers' true weak points are when James is available. Los Angeles was pretty much at full health for only the first time in their win over the Utah Jazz. They need to see more of that before big decisions can be made. There's just a lot of data right now that we just don't have, a team source told. Lakers need insight before picking their moment to strike on trade market. The 9-man rotation that Redick rolled out against the Jazz featured James, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, DeAndre Ayton, Rui Hachimura, Jake LaRavia, Marcus Smart, Gabe Vincent, and Jackson Hayes. What are the shortcomings of that group? One could probably estimate a few things based on the names involved. They could still benefit from a two-way wing that was rumored to be sought after in the offseason. More shooting would be welcome too. A more productive backup point guard that can put pressure on defenses would not hurt either. Perhaps an upgrade from Hayes can be explored as well. The fact of the matter is all of those points remain the best guesses. They are not based off a string of results that provide a real sample size for the weaknesses of the rotation. There may be some sense of urgency and curiosity from onlookers, given the NBA calendar is approaching the unofficial start to trade season on December 15th. However, for the Lakers, they may want to kick this can down the road a little closer to the trade deadline. Some needs may emerge much quicker than others, making themselves obvious from the jump. Others could take until late January to really show themselves. Opportunities will be there. Plenty of trade rumors are already beginning to formulate. For the Lakers, they are just not ready for a major judgment call. Why LeBron James, J.J. Redick aren't concerned about Lakers' abysmal three-point shooting. The Lakers beat the Jazz on Sunday to improve to 12-4 on the season. Luka Doncic had 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists as Los Angeles won its fourth straight game. It was LeBron James's second game of the season and it went pretty well considering the team made just 10 of 38 three-point attempts. The Lakers are currently tied with the Denver Nuggets for the second-best record in the Western Conference, but that type of shooting has been the norm this season. The Lakers are currently 26th in the NBA in both three-point attempts and three-point shooting percentage at 33.3%. Not that LeBron James or J.J. Redick are concerned. It won't last, said James told the media in the locker room after the game. We're not worried about it. We've got too many good shooters. It won't last. Redick also thinks the shooting will come. I told the guys this after the game. We're literally one of the worst shooting teams in the NBA right now. I don't think that's who we are. We've got to make shots and we've got to shoot them with confidence, and to me, if we're guarding with that level of physicality and passing the ball to each other. Look, we had 23 assists, we could have easily had 30-some if we made shots tonight. We've got to shoot the ball better, but it's got to be a belief in each other and a belief in ourselves to knock down shots. Doncic is shooting a career-low 31.1% from three, as is Austin Reeves. Marcus Smart, who is taking the third most three-point attempts per game on the team, is shooting 24%. Rui Hachimura is the only regular rotation player who has shot over 35% this season. Despite all that, the Lakers are currently tied for first in field goal percentage, which means they're making up for the bad long-range shooting with effective scoring inside combined with 29 free throw attempts per game. If the three-point shooting really can bounce back, that could be a problem for any team that isn't the Thunder. NBA scouts agree, Lakers pose real playoff threat despite obvious flaws. The Los Angeles Lakers continue to climb the standings, and their rise has not gone unnoticed by talent evaluators around the league. Despite concerns about depth and a season filled with lineup adjustments, the Lakers have earned the respect of scouts who believe their ceiling is far higher than their flaws suggest. In ESPN's latest reporting, several scouts offered their candid view of where the Lakers stand in the Western Conference hierarchy, and the message was clear: nobody wants to see this team in a playoff series. Are they up there with Oklahoma City, Denver, and Houston? No, an East scout told ESPN. But they are clearly in the top 6. Their depth overall is not good, but their top-line talent makes them a team I would not want to see in the playoffs. While some evaluators question the Lakers' supporting cast, others see a legitimate contender emerging. One Western Conference scout was even more bullish on the Lakers' ability to compete with the best teams in the league. In his view, their path to success is simple: having Luka Doncic raises their floor and their championship ceiling. They are the top 3 for sure, the West scout said. When you have Luka, you are always going to be in the mix. The Lakers may not be fully formed yet, but their talent at the top continues to earn league-wide respect as the Western standings take shape. Thanks to strong shooting from Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, they rank as a top 10 offensive team with an average scoring mark of 117.9 points per game. As coach J.J. Redick recently pointed out, the Lakers are far from perfect, and their mistakes offensively will come back to bite them. That is not to mention their lapses on defense. Still, they have the pieces to make a deep playoff run, and every high-level executive knows it. Besides star power, they also have depth at 1 through 5, and even at center with DeAndre Ayton, Jackson Hayes, and Maxi Kleber splitting minutes in the frontcourt. Marcus Smart says playing with LeBron James feels different after years as rivals. The Los Angeles Lakers made a move in the offseason to shore up their depth at point guard, bringing in longtime Celtics guard and former Defensive Player of the Year winner Marcus Smart. Many believed that the Lakers front office was urged by Luka Doncic to do this, as Doncic has been vocal in the past about Smart being one of the toughest defenders that he's ever faced. That said, it was Smart who was happy to be on a team with LeBron James, after the two battled for many years in the Eastern Conference as members of the Boston Celtics and Cleveland Cavaliers respectively. When asked about now having James as a teammate, Smart echoed a grateful response. To be able to learn and pick his brain and be on the court with him and reading him on the court, it definitely feels different. It feels good to play with another guy who can think the game just as quickly as I can, and understands it more than I do. Smart has excelled on the defensive end this season, averaging 2 steals per game, the second highest single-season mark of his career. He's also been a serviceable scorer, averaging 9.8 points in 12 games played thus far. With LeBron having just returned from injury, the two will be able to share the court once more, but this time as teammates. Los Angeles returns to action on Sunday, facing the Utah Jazz once again. Lakers' Bronny James shows out in first G League game of season. Second-year Los Angeles Lakers guard Bronny James made his G League debut with the South Bay Lakers on Friday, marking his return to the developmental league after starting the season on the roster. In his first game back at South Bay, he scored 15 points, grabbed 4 rebounds, and handed out 8 assists, while shooting 5-4-10 from the field, including 2-4-5 from beyond the arc. He only had 3 turnovers, but made up for them with 3 steals of his own, in a game that once again showed his ability to influence the court on both ends through high motor play and unselfishness. Chiefs show they can never be counted out in comeback win versus Colts. He averaged 2.1 points in 11.1 minutes per game during his 10 appearances for the Lakers this season. James got playing time because his father, 21-time All-NBA Lakers power forward LeBron James, missed the start of the season, and Gabe Vincent was injured early in the campaign. Bronny spent a significant amount of time in the G League last season during his rookie year as a second-round pick. He made an impression, averaging 21.9 points, 5.3 rebounds, 5.3 assists, and 1.9 steals. Bronny James goals in the G League. The former USC Trojan, when speaking to Lakers reporter Raj Chipalu, explained what he hopes to achieve this time in South Bay and which areas of the game he will be focusing on. "Yeah, I'm trying to focus now on bettering myself off the ball," James said. "Me and JJ have talked about how all the ball handlers on the parent team and stuff like that, so I've got to learn to be effective off the ball and have a .5 mentality and shoot the ball when I have it, have an open shot." So, I'm trying to get better at that, but, some on-ball guard is needed at the G, so I'm just trying to produce as much as I can. James placed heightened expectations on himself entering the season, and while he is back in the G League, there is still plenty of time for him to secure a spot in the rotation, especially since he can be a role player who does off-ball work next to Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. Lakers G League guard cuts ties with LA, signs with Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies signed Los Angeles Lakers guard Kobe Bufkin to a 10-day hardship exception on Sunday, per ESPN's Shams Charania. Initially selected with the number 15 pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, Bufkin will look to lend a hand to an injury-riddled Grizzlies squad after being called up for his third NBA season. Both of Bufkin's previous NBA seasons came with the Atlanta Hawks, where he struggled for playing time. He had an underwhelming rookie season in 2023-24, shooting 37% from the field while averaging 4.8 points, 1.9 rebounds, and 1.6 assists per game through just 17 games. He also struggled for time in 2024-25 with the Hawks, though improved upon his numbers the previous season, although through fewer games. Bufkin averaged 5.3 points, 2.1 rebounds, and 1.7 assists last season. The Hawks traded Bufkin to the Brooklyn Nets in September, though the Nets waived him before the beginning of the season. After joining the G League Motor City Cruise, the South Bay Lakers acquired him via trade on November 13. Bufkin played 2 games for the South Bay Lakers before the Grizzlies picked him up, averaging 22 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 4.0 points on 28.7 minutes per game. The Lakers are more than set at guard with both Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves as their starters, and have several other options behind them, such as Marcus Smart, Bronny James, Gabe Vincent and Nick Smith Jr.